Welcome everybody to Altadena Talks. Happy, what is it, Thursday? Thursday today. This is episode 292. We thank you very much for tuning in. I am Jamal Smith, one of the co-hosts, and my other two co-hosts have some prior engagements they have to take care of, and they're required to be there. So you got me today for a short period of time, depending upon what happens in terms of the conversations that people want to have. Will determine kind of how long we are on today. And because I'm doing this by myself, you'll see me looking off the screen periodically, and there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. So I'm gonna try to do everything at the same time while I do the show. So normally today being Thursday, hold on, I'm gonna close this door real quick. So normally today being Thursday would have been a Tony Talks episode, but since she's unavailable, and we did have, she was on yesterday speaking with the folks from Altadena Rebuild, I believe it was, and the building blocks event that's happening this Saturday. I'll talk about that later. But it was kind of like a healing, one of the things they're trying to do is take a holistic approach to helping people rebuild. And, that kind of allowed us to kind of flip flop the days, as Tony had mentioned yesterday. So today, I just decided, wanted to check in. I just wanted to see if anybody wanted to chime in and talk about anything, see how their progress was actually coming. And I also wanted to talk in terms of checking in, wanted to mention the fact that, and reiterate the fact that there's activity happening in Altadena. Not that it stopped at all, but it's kind of there was a big pause, right, when the fires happened, shocked everybody, devastated the vast majority of the town, and not much was going on. Everyone was stunned, but there is, slowly but surely that activity coming back to Altadena. Obviously, there's the homes that are breaking ground. There are the homes that are, in the middle of the progress of rebuilding. There are the homes that are already completed, where there's a lot of people who have actually gone back. It's I think it's a little less than a dozen. However, that's miraculous considering we're just slightly past a year and a month, right? Since the fires. So I think that's spectacular progress, and it continues. So we've talked many a times with folks and had builders come on and talk about all the progress that's happening, tons of breaking ground. And before you know it, I think by the end of this year, there's going to be a really significant number of folks who are in their homes and, making some progress to having their neighborhoods restored. The other thing I've noticed is the fact that, events such as Cars and Coffee are bringing the folks in Altadena who are still here, right, to be able to come together. But it also brings folks who were displaced that still have some vehicles that want to have that, that camaraderie and be able to get together with folks and, see what's going on, allowing them to go ahead and get together. And then there's all these other activities, all these organizations that are providing the food distribution and the clothing and all the supplies that they need, the farmers market events that happen on a regular basis. Obviously, we don't talk a whole lot about ICE and immigration stuff, but that also is going on in terms of helping people provide or gain the specific knowledge that they need to kind of navigate through that kind of crazy, situation that we're dealing with the immigration. But there's also, it's just folks are coming together. It just shows, in my personal opinion, that people are vibrant, can't keep us down, not, Dena's strong. I always say Altadena's going to come back bigger, badder, and stronger. And I've seen thus far that, it's kind of happening in that way. Okay, let's see here. While I talk, I'm, like I said, just trying to do a few things at the same time. So I'm going to add folks as they come on. And if you have any questions you want to ask or any comments you want to talk about, this is kind of checking in, seeing where you are, seeing what progress have you seen Um, I noticed my cousin Marcus has popped in as well. I appreciate you, bro.
Hey man, I gotta help out where I can.
Hey man, I appreciate it. I figured folks would not mind hearing from you and me. They probably don't want to hear from me the whole time.
Well, I know, like you were saying, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you guys do. That when you solo, it's just impossible to do, really,
Well,
because
it just takes a little while.
it takes a
It's
little while, right?
obvious what's happening,
Yeah,
right?
right, right,
Like
right.
I'm talking and it's like, and then there's a pause, and then I'm
Yes,
looking off the screen and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's kind of what happens in that
yeah,
regard. But
yeah.
how you doing, man?
Doing okay, man. Just you know, progressing and staying positive and uh having some conversations with neighbors. My next door neighbor Jeff and Jody, they they were like, they kind of went through a, the journey of fatherhood with me as well.
Okay.
You've golfed with Jeff.
Oh, okay. I thought it
Yeah,
sounded familiar.
yeah. So we're still in touch, and we're actually supposed to connect for lunch, me and Jeff, just to
Today?
next week.
Oh,
It was
soon.
supposed to
Okay.
be this past Tuesday, but I was a little under the weather, so
Oh,
I had to postpone it. Yeah, the weather changed. Hot, cold, wet, dry. It finally caught up
hmm
to me. But
Probably
but
not
yeah,
getting a lot of
so
rest too.
yes, for sure. So it's I'm looking forward to reconnecting and just checking in person with my next door neighbor, and that's the bond that Altadena creates and forms and maintains, even though we're in separate locations at this point. The bond is still there, and that's the beauty of Altadena and the communities, is that there's those bonds that are unbreakable. I'd say they're fireproof. It's
Hey,
been
I like
proven
that.
for us to withstand this terrible fire, that those relationships and bonds and togetherness, that's all still intact, regardless of our current locations and our future locations.
That's a great point. And that kind of reiterates what I was talking about a little earlier because it truly shows the resilience of the folks of Altanina to
Hmm.
still get together. Obviously, a lot of people were trying to rebuild, and that part's it's an obvious thing. But to get together for the cars and coffees, to get together for the small events, just to check in with one another as well.
Hmm.
I think it's imperative that folks do that, and I think it's a it's a sign that this community again is just really really strong, and
Yeah,
I love it. Another reason why I love it.
yeah, really strong, really unique. But hopefully, it doesn't remain unique. Hopefully, people from other neighborhoods can kind of get some encouragement to kind of get to know your neighbors and don't be a stranger. Because there's really deep and defined relationships that you can gain from just being a neighbor to your neighbor, and reciprocate, and that could then take over a block, and then from a block can take over a town, and once it's there, and once it's instilled in that town or city, it will last. I feel it will last forever, and those that will move into Altadena will, either they're just going to be hermits, or they're gonna they're gonna give it the program.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because I remember when Brian he had bought a home a number of years ago back in Santa Clarita. Ironically,
Hmm.
when
Hmm.
he was married, and he had kind of brought it. He had made this comment as well that there was only a few people that kind of really spoke to him initially, and he kind of broke the mold and kind of got
Hmm.
people to communicate with one another and start hanging out and talking.
Hmm.
But he says right now, people don't talk to each other. Like where he's staying right now with his fiance,
Hmm.
with Sherry, they don't really talk. Um, a lot of these new neighborhoods, um, in different communities, they don't have that communal bond, right?
Yeah.
Where they know who their neighbor is. They may wave, but a lot of
Mhm.
times they don't even know who their neighbors actually
Mhm.
are. And that's not. I don't think it's a good quality for a quality town or city, right, or
No.
neighborhood. When you know somebody, I mean, it makes it feel even more so like home. You
Yeah.
feel safer, I'd like to believe, because
Mhm.
you understand who your neighbors are. You got each other's backs.
Mhm.
You see, help them raise their kids. You
Mhm.
you party. You help them when they need some, going through tough times, all that kind
Yeah.
of thing. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a trip. So, and I'd like to believe. I know we comment a lot about how unique Altadena is because of the fact that the few people that we've talked to, don't really have that same thing. I'd like to believe though
Mhm.
there's a lot of communities across the nation that are actually more like Altadena than less.
Yeah, I would say they're the small towns. I would think more
Yeah,
small towns and things that and probably small towns that have that legacy, like where there's been
that's the key.
generations of the same neighbors or from the same uh
Families.
family tree, I may not have known you, but my dad knew your dad, or I went to school with your cousin or whatever, and then that kind of keeps that spirit in the town.
For sure.
um but yeah, I mean, I know there's some other ones out there, and we've seen some other towns as they've gone through difficult times and challenging times, that you can see that togetherness and everything.
Hmm.
This, of course, is more personal, and it's I'm touching what this town is going through because I'm going through it with them. So um,
Yeah.
and what I'm experiencing through this journey is just it's just so much love and so much togetherness, and just really looking out for each other. Like you were saying, like on our street, our neighbors, if our neighbors went out of town or whatever, they'll let us know. They'll let us know, and why? One, so that we can look out for Amazon packages or whatever, mail,
Sure.
or someone going over there. Like,
That
hey,
isn't supposed to be there.
yeah. Or if someone is going to be house sitting, to let us know so we know that that person is supposed to be there. So,
Hmm.
but that gives you that peace of mind while you're out of town enjoying your time, versus every 5 seconds looking at your ring app or whatever,
True.
wondering who's this at my house. My friend, my friend and next door neighbor Jeff, several times, his dog Ace got out, and he would see him on the ring, and he'll call me like, "Hey, Marcus, Ace
Can you,
Ace is
can you
taking a
chase
walk
down
right
my dog,
now."
please?
Yeah, yeah, Ace is out taking a walk right now. Can you and find out where he's coming out of? you know?
Right.
So, but it's those type of relationships that really, you know, help a community, help a neighborhood, even a block, look after each other, and in an emergency situation, like you said, each other will have their back, and make sure everyone is okay. Make sure everybody is aware that there's an emergency going on. In a town like what you were saying, Brian is at right now, if something's happening and you don't know anybody, well, you can end up part of that tragedy because no one wanted to talk. You know,
True indeed.
to have a phone number. I the day after the fire, I notified my neighbor directly across from us, next door to us. I notified, and down the street from us. I notified them whether or not their house made it, and sent them. I asked them if they wanted a picture. I asked them, or if they didn't, because I explained it, it's gone.
Right.
But a lot of people, and I get it, a lot of people needed, like, they couldn't believe it. So the only way you can believe it, you can't believe it by just someone telling you. So some wanted to just have a picture. Um, and and I did that for everybody who wanted it. I took a picture of each property I went by, but I only sent it to those that wanted it. If they were cool with me just telling them, yeah, then that's good. You know,
Right, because
um,
yeah, some didn't want to see it, I'm
yeah, some
sure.
didn't want to see it. And they knew me calling. I mean, all of them knew with me calling that what I was saying is was no joke. You know,
Mhm.
and they knew what they had left, so they knew that with the follow up call from me that you know no we know you know but that family oriented neighborhood um is something that it's I think it needs to happen in more towns and cities, and they can start just block by block. It just starts block by block. As long as I've been in Altadena, which is 50, oh no, excuse me, 47, be 48 years this year, I think, 47 years. Um, it's always, we were riding our streets. We were riding our streets on all the blocks,
Oh, for sure.
we needed to know where the dogs were at.
You found out the hard way the first time.
Yeah, man. And you found out how fast you can go uphill.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I've left my bike many a time.
Yeah.
Actually, when I lived on Olive, sorry to interject, when I
Uh-huh.
lived on Olive, I would ride my bike up towards your street.
Yeah.
And I want to say either Poppy Fields or Los Flores, there was this corner house where there was a rock wall. I
Mm,
don't remember which street it was, but I used to ride up there all the time, then come right back down the hill, right? Because I
yeah.
used to live right by Marigold.
Right.
But this one time, I never saw the dog before, but this one time I made it up and I started going down and I wasn't going down fast and that dog started coming at me. And because of the wall, it was like head level.
Yes. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
dropped the bike and I was booking down the street. And then, I periodically, like probably like about 30 minutes later, I'm looking up the street. I go one house at a time,
Yeah.
seeing if the dog was there. And then I snuck under the wall, grabbed my bike, and went back. Man, it was crazy. Yeah, that was my
Yeah.
experience with them
Yeah.
dogs, man. It was
You got
crazy.
it. You got it. You got it. And that's knowing your neighborhood, man. That's knowing your
Yeah.
neighborhood. That's knowing your safe route, your extreme route. Because the
Hmm.
dogs and everything, that was your extreme route. Like you gonna take it today, but you ready for it.
Right. It's like you doing your hard workout thing. You gotta
Right.
you gotta drive fast. Oh, that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah. But yeah,
Mm-mm.
that's all the good stuff, man, with the town of Altadena and
Yeah.
um, you know, like I said, I'm looking forward to meeting up with my neighbor, my carnal is what I call him. Um, Next week, hopefully, and just shoot the breeze, catch up. His oldest daughter went off to college this year,
Oh, wow.
yeah, so so we have that to talk about. Our daughters' birthdays. My daughter Rebecca and his two daughters, they're in February, so we kind of was sharing, a tradition that actually we fostered from them um, for all the years that they've been next door to us. We can look out of our dining room window into to their dining room window, basically, or living room window.
Hmm.
And what they would do every birthday is they would put pictures on the window and of the birthday girl, and
Really?
we're both girl dads.
Yeah.
So so he has three, I had two. I told him you were braver than me. And so we
There's something to that, bro.
yeah, man.
You
So
know I know.
yes, sir. So we put that so we started doing that this year. Where we are now is on the person's birthday. We put up pictures. We kind of just find pictures, our favorite pictures, with that person, and put them up on our dining room window. And we keep it up for like half the month. Um,
Hmm.
you know, and so that's just a way to kind of celebrate and reflect, and we got it from them, and so I shared that. I took a picture of our window. It's actually a sliding door, so I took a picture of that and sent it to my carnal Jeff, and and then told him, this is, just so you know, we watched you guys do this all these years, and this is something we've incorporated in our household, our tradition. Going
Wow,
forward, we're gonna do and celebrate the person how they were and how they did, and so it was something, another reminder of just you know knowing your neighbor and learning your neighbor. You can learn from your neighbor, and you can inherit things from your neighbor that may seem like nothing or little or whatever, but it could go a long way. And
that's
it
true.
can and it can be something that you can make it to a tradition, and go forward, and help with healing. And I think that's and it's all T. T's the one that, Mama Bear, she was that was something that it just happened organically. When the first birthday happened, she just printed out pictures, she started putting it on there, and I knew exactly
What she's
where
doing.
where the idea came from, and what she was doing, without even a word being spoken, because we saw the same thing for a shoot. I think they were neighbors for like 20 years.
Man, that's
So
beautiful.
yeah, so it was something that, love my neighbors, and just really appreciate all the learnings and support that you can have with neighbors, with good neighbors, and that's why it's good to not really have to move around a lot, so that you guys can get to know each other, and form bonds and stuff.
That's very key. I mean, you touched on it earlier when you said legacy, and
Hmm.
just now, the legacy means you're in that community for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Well, maybe generations, or for that one generation for 20 plus years. It
Hmm.
takes that, right? And
Hmm.
I know you're not gonna move into a neighborhood and make everybody your best friend, right? And
Right.
it
Right.
takes some time to cultivate the relationship and figure out who's who, and what's
Yeah.
going on. But
Yeah.
if you can do that, and for all the communities that are out there that have that, and Altadena, which had that and will continue to do so
Hmm.
after everything is built back, it just makes for a stronger, um, you know, really, really good community.
Yep.
And yeah, that's a beautiful thing. That's one of the things I know that's super important, is that stability too. I mean, I
Hmm.
call it stability because I moved around a little bit when I was younger.
Hmm.
Parents split up and all this kind of stuff. So I did a bit of moving around, and I think I was resilient enough to, work it out. I didn't have any major crazy problems. I miss folks and what have you, but
Hmm.
fortunately, I had sports that really kept me busy,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
when I moved out of state for a year and what
Hmm.
have you. But one of the things I wanted to make sure my girls had was a stable environment as
Hmm.
best as long as they could, just
Hmm.
because they can build those lifelong
Yeah.
relationships
Yeah.
with the kids that they grow up with, who
Hmm.
a handful of them will be their friends for life.
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing. It's not going to be exactly like Altadena, because we
Hmm.
do live in another city, but I'm from Altadena. I spent a
Hmm.
significant amount of my life there, and
Hmm.
have family there, whatever, and I know what it feels like, and I want to give
Yeah.
that to them, and
Yeah.
make sure that they know what it's like, and
Yeah.
know the importance of it.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. No, that's yeah, that's all true, and it's so true. Like once you've experienced that, and being raised up in that type of setting and environment, you want nothing less for your children to have that same thing, because you see the benefits of it. Like you said, the lifelong friends. I mean, lifelong. Like, my friend Chris down the street. He's my first person I met. He was on the block before we were.
Mhm.
Um, so we're what, 48 years in, something like that.
Yeah.
So it it's good to be able to provide that for your kids so that they can again do the same for theirs because they'll see the benefits of it and they'll want nothing less for theirs. So it's very important for us to kind of have that stability like you're saying to for our kids to pass on. As part of
Absolutely.
the legacy as well, and not everybody's gonna stay, but if you have that spirit, it can ignite, or grow somewhere else, and it probably will be part of your search for a home, a place to live, is to try to
Hmm.
get that feel of that environment, that neighborhood, of whether it's gonna be something that we can have that type of relationship with our neighbors.
That's true. That's very true. And speaking of stability, I'm kind of proud of what obviously what we've done here at Altadena Talks. And for those who are tuning in, welcome to episode 292 of Altadena Talks. We got myself, Jamal Smith, and we got my cousin and um, a partner here, Marcus Betts. Tony and Brian had prior engagements they had to attend to, so we're just on here checking in with folks, talking about what made Altadena and towns like Altadena what they are. We're seeing how people are progressing through their, the rebuild process and just dealing with stuff. And would love to hear from you if you want to just check in and say, hey, this is how I'm feeling or what have you, or this is what's going on with either my home or my family's home, broke ground or something like that. We want to congratulate you. But the point I was going to make about Altadena Talks is, it started just humbug, just out
Hmm.
the blue.
Hmm.
And one of the things that we all talked about was wanting to be there and be consistent and to
Hmm.
say, hey, 292 episodes from the start, Monday
Hmm.
through Friday. I think this is a reflection of what was instilled in us by being
Yes,
part of Altadena,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
And this is something that we wanted to obviously give back to
Hmm.
Altadena. So, you know, excuse me, we don't always have super duper amazing information, but we have fun. We're consistent with the announcements that are happening around town, and we do have some really good folks that do come on and
Hmm.
share some quality information for
Hmm.
all aspects of returning and moving forward from this disaster, because that's
Right,
exactly what it was or
right.
is. So yeah, shoot, this consistency really it comes from being from Altadena. I really
Yeah,
do believe that.
yeah,
Really
yeah.
believe
No, I agree. I agree. And it, again, it's organic, right? It's
that
just
for sure.
it's just instilled in each of us with regards to um, what we lived, what we lived on a daily basis, and what we were raised in, and then it's Outdated Talk's way of giving back, and being consistent in doing so, and it's still the longest running, you know
What is he
podcast,
saying?
the
In
longest
the
running
world,
podcast in the world, talking
that,
about
that, that
Altadena.
that's right.
it,
That's right.
it, it's gonna have that. It's gonna have that. Because we're still running.
It's funny every time he says that. I mean, it's obviously funny, but it's definitely a sense of pride as well
Yeah.
because that consistency, folks recognize.
Hmm.
Obviously, Tony and Brian because of his craziness and his hair, and Tony because Tony talks and she
Right.
has that knowledge that she brings. I mean, it's amazing how both of their minds retain a lot of this stuff.
Oh yeah, man.
It's kind of sick to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, how do
Yeah.
you
They,
remember all that?
honestly, both of their heads should be like 3 times the size they are with all the information that they retain, man. I mean, because I
Yeah.
got I got air in mind, but they got all this knowledge and stuff. They should be ginormous, man. I
Oh,
don't know
you
how
are
they do
correct.
it, man.
You are correct. Yeah, she be
Yeah,
spitting off, codes and all
yeah,
this stuff. I'm like, I remember I knew that, but
yeah,
I didn't know
yeah,
that detail. And then Brian,
yeah,
he still kills me. I always mess with him when he tries to remember, you know, 1997,
yeah,
August 7th at 7 p.m. You had on this outfit and one button was unbuttoned and da 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 da. I mean, he gives detail that's
yeah.
silly.
You
And
know,
it's
you
like,
know
come
what
on,
it
dude.
is? It's like as kids, right? When we were kids, we were sponges, right? We just kind of
Mhm.
sponged everything. Brian never stopped. Brian, Brian he's still sponging. Like he doesn't even have to be in a conversation. He doesn't have to watch a movie. He doesn't have to, it doesn't matter. Brian's sponging
Yeah,
nonstop. And like I said,
absolutely.
that head, that head, he should, he should be,
Should be
he should, he should
huge.
be one of them fat heads. Man, I'll tell you.
Ah,
But I am. I'm in awe of
ah.
the whole crew. How you guys are so knowledgeable and just so caring and so real, and just being genuine in your efforts in giving back and supporting Altadena. That it's just awesome, and for sure you guys are the template. You guys are a template for future disasters. I'm sure there's going to be you know future disasters. We know that's going to happen,
Of
and
course.
there's gonna be people that are going to reach out and just kind of pick brains. And I'm sure the three of y'all big brains gonna be picked
Hey,
how,
that's
and
fine with
really
me.
the question's gonna be how did you do it so consistently? What were the challenges and this and that? That's what people are gonna need to know.
Yeah.
And then having the right people dedicated for that journey, and you guys are the three.
Well, it's funny that you say that because remember when we had Dave from Cars and Coffee come on the
Hmm.
show, and
Hmm.
one of the things he mentioned is he talked to one of the organizations that deals with fires. I forget if it was FEMA or what it was, and he
Hmm.
had asked, "Hey, does this sort of thing happen in other disasters in terms of what happens afterwards?" And the
Right.
person he was speaking to said, "Yes, it happens all the time. You just happen to be that person or one of the people for this disaster. But there's
Yeah.
always someone who steps up and
Hmm.
does something.
Hmm.
It's not always the exact same thing. So
Hmm.
it would be, it'd be an honor, for anybody to ask,
Right.
hey, we saw what you guys did as a result of this or in
Hmm.
response to this situation. Tell us about how you went about it. We'd
Yeah.
love to share with them.
Yeah.
Fortunately, B and I, Tony too, but B and I, just because of the close relationship we have significant tech knowledge, and we were
Hmm.
already in that space, just testing
Right.
stuff and what have you. So
Right.
when the comment about obviously have starting a podcast came up, we already knew what to do in terms of technology, subject
Hmm.
matter, format, all that stuff. We didn't
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
exactly what was going to happen. It kind of turned into what it turned into, and we love
Yeah.
to share that.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
and
we'll
and
definitely do
the growth in the podcast and the growth within each of you guys from the beginning to now is apparent, and something that you guys should be very proud of as well,
of course.
uh, as to how you guys have grown and developed this podcast into just a fine-tuned machine, really. and
Thank you,
and
man.
just every now and again, I'll come in the oil, but
Appreciate it.
you guys really do have each other's backs, which is the spirit of Altadena. You guys kind of just mesh, and you have different personalities, but when it's all put together, it's just a fine running machine, man. So kudos
Definitely
to you
appreciate
guys.
that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of it too. Because there's certain times we wouldn't have made it without you. Just not even just on the show, but going to the events and helping out, just stepping up and having your arm cramp when you're holding the camera at events and all that stuff.
Yeah, I still looking to file a claim about that, but that's on another show.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. I know that's right. But it's
that
fun
was
though
that was
too.
volunteerism abuse, and
It was. It
yeah.
was. And Brian
But-
full on admitted to it. Volunteer abuse. That is definitely what happened. Well, while I got a chance here, let's give a shout out to some of the folks that have joined Metricon Homes US. Thank you for joining. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. I don't recall seeing you before, but hey,
yeah,
if you're a
welcome.
builder and you want to help out Altadena, give us a shout out. Let me find the proper link here. If you're interested, go ahead and go to this link here, altadenatalks.org/podcast guest. Give us a shout, and we'd love to hear from you. It's a Google form. You fill it out, and what we'll do if you're a builder, we're going to vet you, just so you know. We're going to make sure you are who you say you are. You do what you say you do. We want to make sure that you're actually going to help the community, right? So please feel free to reach out. So shout out to Metricon Homes USA. Another shout out to Classic Ash, always joining. Thank you very
Classic
much.
Ash.
And Gamal Smalley, my somewhat of a namesake. He was older than me, went to John Muir High School. And shout out to you, Gamal. Thank you for joining. I know you're in the media and you're still into basketball. I know you're a coach right now. So shout out. Thank you very much for joining. And then Sherry Moore, 35. Thank you. You're a regular. Appreciate you
Welcome.
tuning in again.
Welcome back.
And that's right. And Nashawn Dion, you're a regular as well. Thank you. We appreciate the support. And I'm going to continue to look to see if anyone else joins. I know this isn't the normal episode with Tony and Brian. So it's a little different vibe. You're not used to just seeing me. I know you're used to seeing Marcus periodically, but we're just kind of checking in with you. I know, again, what I kind of had mentioned earlier. There's several people who are already in their homes. Actually, were in their homes before the end of the year, and there's a lot more people who are going to be in their homes this year.
Oh yeah,
Auntie Paula, for one.
Yeah,
and I'm really, really happy about that. Now there was. Ironically, I'm gonna see if I can find it while I'm talking. But there was some sort of. I'm gonna open this again. Okay. All right. Let me do this. So there was a survey, or there was some sort of survey to see if people were okay with and changing the hours for when construction could actually happen. It's going to take me some time.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
So obviously, right now in Altadena, when homes are being built, especially for people whose home is still there, I'm sure the construction noise is an issue, right? And Brian even mentioned somebody had been complaining, and all this kind of stuff. Well, one of the council members had actually put up a post where they did a survey for folks in the Eaton Canyon fire as well as Palisades fire, and try to get a vote or get a feel for what people felt about extending the hours in terms of when construction could happen. I believe they were going to extend it by an hour earlier in the morning. So instead of 8 o'clock, they wanted to consider having it at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. But then they were going to consider, or on Saturday, they were going to consider adding a Sunday as well as holidays. When I find it, and we'll talk about it probably a little bit more later, maybe in another episode, but you said you saw that. It looked like it was kind of split. Obviously, the people who didn't live there and were rebuilding their home, they were more open to expanding the construction hours.
Yeah.
And if there was any opposition, it was really from the people who are still there.
And I understand both sides, honestly. And there was some good feedback, of people chiming in where some were like, honestly, the construction is music to my ears. That means I have more neighbors coming back soon, because you think about it, the ones that are there, we were fortunate to either have already finished rebuilding or who had to remediate or something versus, rebuilding. They are there by themselves or close to by themselves, depending on what block. And so the hearing construction going on could be it's the way that you receive it. And that's with anything, right? You can find the positive in it, and the positive is that you have neighbors that are working on getting back home. It's being done, and they're wanting to do it and get home even sooner. That's why they want to extend the hours,
Very
or you
true.
can look at it as just being noise. Well,
Hmm.
that you know, that's like looking at what happened as just being a fire. It's
Hmm.
not. It's more than just noise. It is something positive. And so I would just encourage those people that you know have their feelings with regards to being extended. I do understand, but I would just say, try to find the positive in it, that your neighbors are trying to get back home as soon as possible, and they miss you, and that's why they want to get back home sooner. If trust me, if if they didn't like their neighbors, it wouldn't be the rush to get back. But every Altadena block that I know of has neighbors on it that right now they're missing each other, and they don't feel right because they're not next to each other or down the street from each other. So just
Right.
kind of keep that in mind when when you're hearing the noise, and just take the positive that folks are trying to get back home. That's what I would do if I
Sure.
was if the shoe was on the other foot, and I was fortunate enough to be able to be in the home in Altadena right now. I wouldn't mind the noise. I wouldn't mind the
I
noise at
feel you.
all. I would, I
Hmm.
would, I would. It would. Matter of fact, if it was a day that there was no noise, I'd be calling those neighbors that were, cause they were building, like, hey,
Everything
everything
okay?
cool?
Yeah. Yeah.
You catch a stag, like, because the noise is a sign of progress, and just I would just encourage people to look at it from that positive way.
No, I agree wholeheartedly with you. When Brian had mentioned it before, it was sad that somebody was going to be that upset about the construction. I think they misunderstood what development and all this kind of stuff was because
Hmm.
of the builders had their signs in the yards, right?
Hmm.
There was probably a misunderstanding of what was really going on. But the fact that there's a new home being built
Yes.
right where it was burnt down, that should be encouraging. And the
Yep.
other thing I would kept saying was, look, it's temporary. It's
Yeah.
not going to be going on for the rest of your life. Now
Yeah.
it may be a couple years because not everybody's going to be doing it within the same time frame,
Yeah.
but at the same time, if the house next to you gets built and you have to deal with the noise for a little bit, and maybe on both sides of you, once they start going further away from you, it's going to be less and
Yep.
less, and
That's
at
what I
some
was gonna
point it's going
say.
to stop. Yeah.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. The more walls that are erected, and more structures that are go up, the more that you have to have the sound bounce off, and it's not gonna just be coming straight through your window. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? So
Hmm. So you should encourage it,
you
I would
should you
think.
should what yeah, you should want that. The reason why you're hearing the coyotes from blocks and blocks away right now, because there's nothing in between you and those coyotes.
Right.
Get these get
Yeah, that's
these
crazy.
get these buildings up and everything. Get these houses back, and it'll be less. It'll be less.
No
You
doubt.
know.
So I was able to find the post, and what they're trying to do is have a temporary variance, which will allow for construction from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., which would add 1 hour in the evening. They're suggesting Sundays and holidays to allow 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then the noise above 85 decibels at the nearest occupied home requires mitigation. I don't know how they, um, measure that. And then outside permit hours, the limit remains at 45 decibels. So again, I'm not sure how they measure it, but this
Hmm.
is something that was proposed. It actually showed some of the results: 797 community responses, 59 builder responses. 50% of the residents reported losing their homes. Hold on, let's see. Uh, Most of the residents said the support for the expanded hours, well, it was mixed, strongly tied to the personal impact. That's just what
Hmm.
we said.
Yeah.
Those who lost their home were like cool with it. Those who didn't were probably less cool with it.
Right.
Um, so yeah, residents still living nearby had more caution. About half supporters low noise early morning work. Roughly 44% supported low noise evening work, and many emphasize faster rebuilding predictability and minimize disruption. So,
Yeah.
that's, I mean, it's just a topic that I came across and thought it'd
Yeah.
be kind of cool to bring up because that's something. It's a topic that is serious with folks, and should be considered. Right? It's something to talk about, and I hope that they do go ahead with that ordinance and allow them to extend the
Yeah,
workday by an hour. I know it will be inconvenient. It'll be an inconvenience
mhm,
to folks, but again, it'll be temporary, and it'll get
yep,
less and less. Like you had indicated, when more homes are built, the sound's
yeah,
not going to be bouncing directly to you. You'll have
yeah,
something to kind of bounce off and be
yeah.
deflected, which is cool.
I mean, the 8 p.m. is aggressive. I'll say that
Yeah.
because
Well,
like, and I'm assuming the 8 p.m. like the evening time when they're doing construction will really be inside.
maybe. But think about this, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but next weekend
Daylight saving.
the daylight savings coming. It's going to be, light until like 9 o'clock at
Yeah,
times. So, I mean, most people aren't going to be ready to go to sleep when it's bright outside. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So that may factor in and might
right.
be okay during those times as well. And I don't know if the people who were resistant to it even factored that in,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
perhaps they didn't.
right.
But this we'll pay attention to this and see what happens. Oh,
The town of Altadena collectively will be compassionate and understanding, and there will be a happy medium, uh, and with the end goal of everybody get back home as soon as possible, and for everybody to be able to see each other's faces and as they walk up and down the streets and do their
yeah.
their regular routine prior to the fire. The streets are the same, so what the folks are needing to get back to their routine because that was like a silent sanity, for folks to be able to just do their routine, whether it's walking around 2 or 3 blocks every day, seeing a neighbor here and there, meet
Hmm.
dogs meeting up and stuff like that. That's all part of the healing that's got to take place, and that healing can't take place till the homes are rebuilt.
Nashan says, construction is music to my ears and says it's an interesting quote. Yeah, but I mean, if you take in consideration what has transpired in Altadena and the fact that so many homes are gone,
Hmm.
that construction is the sound of growth.
Yeah,
It's the sound of returning to some sort of, normalcy.
yeah.
And
Sound of
if
recovery.
in recovery, exactly. And if you think about it like that, it could be music to your ears,
Hmm.
right? But
Yeah.
I can see how that's interesting though, Nisha. Absolutely. So we did have a couple more folks join. Rosemary Teresa Smith, that's mom. Thank you for joining, mom. I'll go in there and tell her because for those who don't know, I'm in Vegas right now. That's why I wasn't on the show on Tuesday.
Did
Uh,
you see the show, Jamal?
I saw parts of it. I only because Brian told me to look, and I heard a little bit of the song that Tony had done. It was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think we on to something there.
and Jamal After Dark again. That's
Yes, sir. As
I'll
soon
never
as
live
soon
that
as
one
soon as
down.
I heard you, I was like, he's back.
Well, it was funny because I did it the first night I was here,
Uh-huh.
and one of the things that I have to do is I go through all the as many of the social medias as I can to find stuff.
Uh-huh.
So when I'm on my phone, I save it to the Altadena Talks account because I can't just
Mm,
save it, the pictures and junk. So then I go
right.
onto the computer and find it. So anyway, I found all this stuff, but I kept finding more and more and more, and it was like midnight. It was getting late. I'm like, oh shit. So then I
Uh,
added it to the slideshow, and I'm like, man, this thing is gonna be like forever because there was a lot of
right.
Saturday stuff. So I took a lot of the Saturday stuff out and got it where I thought was cool. But then I was like, well, I don't want to wake up my parents, so
Right.
I'm trying to be kind of quiet. And yeah, it was just. I think I'll always do that. Plus, it's weird when I'm not on the show and they're talking, and I make a few comments here and there. Then I jump into it
Yeah.
to just record and go. It's just bizarre, So, but yeah, it was kind of cool.
But
Tony had
but
found some cool
that's a
music.
that's a key that's another, example of the consistency, man. Even when you have things that come up, we still are finding a way to provide to Altadena. So,
Yeah.
you know, kudos
Well,
again,
and
man.
I think we all try. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Even when we're away, Tony would tune in when she was in Greece and
Hmm.
doing her travels, and Brian would go live wherever he was. So yeah, we have a commitment. Definitely
Yeah.
dedicated.
And I can't lie, I don't feel right if I'm not show live. It don't feel right, man. And it makes me want to go back and check it out, and catch up,
Yeah,
because it's helpful and therapeutic for me. I just realized I got this balloon back here that's got a
I see it.
yeah,
Well, I
yeah,
don't know if you heard the show on. Well, I know you did hear the show on Monday. We didn't. We missed your message. Your comment. You usually say good morning, ATP
yeah,
family or whatever. And
yeah,
at the end, Brian was like, "Man, Marcus didn't show up today. What happened?" And I was like, "I don't know. I got to check up on him." And then he was like, "Oh, wait a minute. We see there's a message right there. He did say
yeah,
good morning or something." So just like you say,
yeah,
it's weird. It's weird to us when the regulars don't show up or
yeah,
make a
yeah,
comment like they normally do,
right,
because we definitely get come on, it's a community. We appreciate
yes,
everybody who participates in this with us and what have you. It's really really
yeah.
cool. Shout out to Blue Harrison. That would be Mr. Podgerelli. Thank you for
What's
joining,
up, bro?
Podge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gotta hit them links soon.
yeah. He's going next week. I think
Oh yeah,
it's an annual birthday thing that
okay.
this cat. Yeah, we went to the first two. I think I haven't been in a couple years. I might try to go.
Mm,
We'll see if there's still space. I don't know if I
yeah,
missed the deadline, but yeah, thanks for joining, Podge, Mister Harrison. um, yeah, shit, man, look at us, 51
yeah,
minutes, almost an hour,
yeah,
uh, talking about checking in, just making sure
yeah.
everybody's okay. Want to see where you are in all aspects, where
Yep.
you are mentally. How's your home coming along? How's your family doing?
Yep.
Um, that's a question. How's the family doing, man? It just
Family's doing cool, man. Family's
yeah.
doing cool. Uh, mom and aunties are, going through their designings
Hmm.
to build. And Paula's will be the first one done. It's right around the corner.
Hmm.
Uh, just everybody. I feel, me personally, February 7th and 8th didn't hit me like every February. I mean, every 7th and 8th of each month hit me prior to the year. Like it was just a day again.
Okay,
Where
that's a good
prior
thing.
to
That's progress.
yeah, 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 because prior to the anniversary, I wouldn't even have to think about it. I would know when that day was coming up, when those days were coming up,
Wow.
and then it dawned on me that, man, I didn't think about the 8th. Like, it didn't hit me in February 8th like it hit me all the other months. And that's exactly how I took it. I was like, I'm healing. Like, I forgot or anything, but it's my mind is distracted in a good way on other things, on positive and future type stuff, as opposed to still on what happened a year ago, and it just
Right.
happened. And I realized it like a week later that it didn't hit me like it had hit me every month prior. Um, and I hope that's happening for everybody else, where we're kind of getting back to, these months are going by, and we're not, and the 7th and the 8th is not hitting us like it was hitting us prior to the year anniversary. I think our year anniversary for the Las Flores block was very helpful in probably packing that away for me,
Hmm.
um, because I was able to see my neighbors, hug my neighbors, laugh, cry
Yeah.
with my neighbors, and then
Yeah.
leave a message for my neighbors. And so I think that's where I was able to kind of like, okay, that's that's last year, you know.
You're able to get that kind of off your
Yeah,
shoulders,
like
right?
like this year, let's go, like, let's go forward. So hopefully
Yeah,
that's
that's
happening,
beautiful.
and it is. And I know, because people's homes are, you know. So they're able to focus more on because they're seeing things and they're having to pay that attention to
And your
and not
internet's kind
and
of
not
going along
look at the
away,
past so much. We'll never
or it
forget.
might be mine. It's like you're getting choppy. I don't know if it's me.
I think it's
Okay,
yours.
cool.
It's probably Brian. Brian probably did something, try to
Oh,
mess
that's
us up.
hilarious.
Yeah, you're
Right.
frozen.
I am? Okay.
You were frozen.
Okay. Well, let me do this. I have another way of kind of checking to see how things are going. Let me check.
You got a lot of announcements today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm good on YouTube, so I'm not sure what happened. Oh well. We'll keep going.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I do have extra people at home, so it could be
Bandwidth,
folks
they
still
might
in
be
my,
sucking
my
it up.
yeah, folks. Yeah, the vampires.
I know that's right. So you did bring up a good point. I do have the announcements. I will do. Yeah, I'm gonna do them all. At least once a week. I'm gonna do all of them. So I'm gonna do that, and then there's a ton of stuff happening on Saturday. Quite a bit tomorrow as well. There's a bunch of stuff happening on Saturday, kind of like all the other weekends. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into that, and I will be back in a moment. Let me take this banner off, and then we will go here. All right, everybody, we are going to do the announcements now. And as I indicated, I'm going to do all of them. So it's going to be quite a few. Going to be on here for a minute. So hopefully you tune in and get some good information. Take a listen. You can always reflect back or return back to one of these episodes if there's some announcements that you want to refer back to and get the information again. So we have the Altadena Community Center, which is available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 730 East Altadena Drive in Altadena. This is where you get in-person help with essential services related to 2025 fires. And then we have the LA County One Stop Permit Center at 464 West Woodbury Road, Suite 210 in Altadena. They have walk-in hours from Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. They also have rebuild consultation appointments, so you can set an appointment with as an individual or a small group Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. or Saturdays 8 a.m. to noon. You can also set up a Southern California Edison planner appointment on Mondays or Wednesdays from 8 a.m. to noon. And to do so, you want to go to recovery.lacounty.gov/rebuilding/one-stop-permit-centers. And just a reminder that the in-person SBA assistance has returned. Locally, it's at the Eden Fire Collaborative at 540 West Woodbury Road in Altadena. They're available Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. They're also available at the Ronald Reagan Palisades Post 283 at 15247 La Cruz Drive in Pacific Palisades. Their hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5 p.m. And then we have the LA County waiving and refunding permit fees for homeowners. If you've basically already paid your fees, you could potentially have them refunded. If you've yet to pay your fees, you could potentially have them waived. To qualify, though, you must demonstrate that you both owned and lived in your property prior to the 7th of January, 2025. In addition, you have to be working on an eligible project, such as your replacement single-family home that was destroyed by either fire, which does include accessory structures like an ADU, a pool, or garage, etc. Another eligible project is a standalone ADU that's used for temporary occupancy during the rebuild. What's not eligible, though, is commercial rental, multifamily, or temporary housing projects, or any property that was not damaged by the fires. So if you're interested in getting your waiver or refund, you can either scan the QR code on the screen or you can visit recovery.lacounty.gov/fee waivers and refunds and fill out the online form. And you can include it in an attachment in an email and send that to recovery@planning.lacounty.gov. Or you can print up a copy and walk it into either the Altadena Community Center or the One Stop Permit Center. Either way, you only need one form, which covers all the departments. Now, Callisis Mortgage Fund has continued and expanded their grant to now include 12 months of mortgage payments up to a maximum dollar amount of $100,000. Again, these fees or this money does not need to be repaid. And if you do get the grant, it goes directly to your mortgage servicer. Um, Eligibility requirements, basically your primary residence must have been destroyed or considered uninhabitable due to the fire, the Eden fire or Palisades fire, or any other qualified disaster from the 1st of January of 23 through the 8th of January of 25. You also must have owned and occupied your home, and it can have up to 4 units on the property. And for LA County, the income combined income limits is $281,400. They increased it recently. And if you have a qualified disaster in another county, it'll be a different value, and they actually have that information on their website. And when you apply, if you do apply, please be prepared to provide your homeowner's insurance or FEMA claim, excuse me, your bank statements, your utility bills, proof of income, as well as your mortgage statement. And you would apply directly on the website calassistmortgagefund.org. And you can get telephone help by calling 800-501-0019 Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can also get in-person assistance by going to the One Stop Rebuild Center in LA at 1828 Sawtell Boulevard, or going to the Altadena Community Center at 730 East Altadena Drive in Altadena. They're available Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now let's get into the local stuff. So the emergency rent relief program has continued. This is phase 2. The difference now is that tenants can actually apply directly for the emergency relief, the rent relief, and there is the potential for up to $15,000 available per unit. And this is for past due rent or utilities and housing related expenses. Just a note, it's not a loan and immigration status is not considered. This is going to continue. The deadline is March 11th, and you would actually go to lacountyrentrelief.com to apply. My Tribe Rise still has the Adoptive Survivor Matching Fund Drive. They're trying to raise an additional $500,000 to reach their $1 million goal in total to provide bridge funding for rent or mortgage coverage for up to 50 families. So if you can help out, please donate by scanning the QR code on the screen. And then today at the Eden Fire Collaboratory, which is at 540 West Woodbury Road in Altadena, there's a wildfire rebuilding certification training. This is happening from 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m., where you can gain practical tools and expert guidance for resilient rebuilding in wildfire impacted communities. Space is limited, so please register by scanning the QR code now if you're interested. Also today from 4 to 5:30 is a virtual Eden Fire Town Hall put on by LA Fire Justice. And this is actually going to allow you to get a recap, give you an update from the lawyer's perspective on what has progressed related to the recovery of this fire. It is a Zoom link, and a Zoom meeting, so you can scan the QR code to register for this. So that's today from 4 to 5:30. For individuals primarily, but also today from 6 to 8 o'clock, there's an event for businesses. It's the Business Roundtable. It's a gathering hosted by LA Fire Justice for business owners impacted by the Eden wildfire, focused on clarity and business recovery. Now, this is going to be a live event at Altadena Design Works, which is at 409 East Woodbury Road in Altadena. And to register, please scan the QR code. And today, this evening, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., there's the Men's Healing Circle put on by Dina Heals with Yancey Cummins and Mike De La Rocha. It's taking place at the Paseo Outdoor Mall, 300 East Colorado Boulevard, Suite 151 in Pasadena. RSVP by going to bit.ly/D as in Dina, H as in Hills /sacred/lessons. And their Rooted in Rhythm is providing a culturally rooted Black History Month line dance and wellness gathering for the community members of Altadena and Pasadena. It's created to support those impacted by the Eden fires. It's happening tomorrow from 7 to 10 p.m. in Pasadena. It's a location that you'll find out once you register by scanning the QR code. And you should expect dance, music, food, and wellness support and resources, as well as community connection. And as we've talked many times, community connection is a very necessary thing. So definitely check it out if you have some time. Sasha Renee Perez has a Know Your Rights Altadena event happening tomorrow from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Eden Fire Collaboratory at 540 West Woodbury Road in Altadena. Join her for an update on key legislative proposals and information about relevant state resources and services available to the community. The partners will also provide a Know Your Rights training to help attendees understand their protections under the existing law. Altadena, a community tea ceremony and grief circle for fire survivors, is taking place on Saturday at 12 noon at Practice Altadena, which is located at 2462 Lake Avenue. It'll be a tea meditation, sharing circle, grief support, and community building. They do ask that you bring your own teacup, and sliding scale offering from $5 to $25. I imagine they are asking for donations for this. And Altadena Musicians is putting on a showcase featuring a number of artists: Courtney Lavender of Excess and Arrows, David Kaiser, Kemet, McConville, Margot May, and Buck Down. It's happening Saturday, the 28th. It'll be from 6. The doors open at 6:45 p.m. at 1260 Lincoln Avenue, Suite 1300. And the suggested donation is $10 at the door, and all that money is going to benefit the fire impacted musicians. So if you want to hear a little music, this is a great event to go to. Also Saturday will be Altadena Cars and Coffee. They're going to continue. I believe this is their 52nd event, 52nd week. It begins at 8 a.m. and goes until 10. It's only a couple hours. So if you're interested, head over to the Bulgarini, which is 749 East Altadena Drive in Altadena. It is the former Rite Aid parking lot for those who are unfamiliar with the Bulgarini. So this event has grown and seems like it's a very, very popular thing. So go check out some folks that you know and check out some nice cars. Get that good coffee too. Hey, we know the Altadena Library, the main branch, has been a big hub in the recovery efforts for Altadena. We know it closed down a couple weeks ago or several weeks ago so they can rebuild. And this Saturday is the groundbreaking ceremony for their renovations. It's taking place Saturday at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's at 600 East Mariposa Street. So they're saying let's come together to celebrate the new chapter for the Altadena Main Library. That should actually be fun. I can't wait to see it when it's done. Also Saturday at 9 a.m. at Loma Alta Park, Hands in the Soil presents Through the Fire Procession. It's a community walk of remembrance, healing, and return. It's not a protest or a parade. It's a ceremony in motion. To RSVP, please go to handsinthesoil.com/through-the-fire. Quite a few more. So as we had Chris on yesterday, the there is the event that is called the Bulk Rebuild Group. It's called Building Blocks, Stay Together, Save Together. The more people that come together, the lower the price of your home. If you remember from yesterday, they have several different home models. And if they can get 10 people, individual people, to commit to each of the different models, then they'll be able to get the material in bulk and save in pricing. So this event is asking folks to sign up to see how rebuilding should work. So it's survivor centered, wildfire prepared designs. There's going to be Spanish, the bungalow, the Jane's cottage, and modern homes, and it'll be quality schedule driven construction. So join them for the kickoff event. It is again is tomorrow, or I'm sorry, Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in downtown Pasadena at the Altadena Girls location, which is 225 East Colorado Boulevard. Space is limited, so please scan the QR code to RSVP. There will be refreshments and food provided. Also on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. will be the Grief Party, a grief and loss vision board experience taking place at the Deliverance Tabernacle Church at 1299 Sunset Avenue in Pasadena. Um, to register, please reach out to 626-328-7794. And if you'd like to sponsor, you can Zelle donations to 626-399-6784. So this event is going to allow you to receive support and healing as you gain tools to embrace the pain, honor the love, and live intentionally, giving your grief a place to live and not hurt. It's a $100 fee, which does include vision board, the supplies, facilitation, support, and light snacks. She does note, though, because this is put on by Dr. Tamitra Clark, a great community person who's doing amazing things in the healing realm. But she does say financial support to attend the workshop may be available. So don't be discouraged by the fee because your health is worth it. So definitely check out this event. It should be very, very good for you. And then we have the Juicy Little Society presenting the We Out Here Black History Celebration, also happening Saturday. It'll be from 12 to 5 p.m. There's going to be contractors, vendors, food, and live music. There's going to be several things going on at the same time. First, with the community session, the topic will be why weekly food access must continue. There'll be the free farmers market. So for fire impacted families, make sure you bring your IDs to verify that you are from Altadena. There'll be some honoree recognition celebrating the Black history makers of Altadena and Pasadena. And there'll be a kid-free zone, or a kiddie zone rather, with jumpers and arts and crafts. There'll be gift card raffles every hour. And this is taking place at Friendship Pasadena Church, which is 80 West Dayton Street in Pasadena. If you'd like to get additional information and register information, please scan the QR code at the bottom portion of the screen.
We out here.
I love it. I love it. There is a movie being shown in honor of Black History Month celebration this Saturday from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. It is the movie The Wiz. It'll be at Connect to Rise Incorporated, which is 2594 East Colorado Boulevard in Pasadena. It is open to the public, and there will be free food and refreshments while supplies last. If you haven't seen The Wiz, please check it out. If you have seen The Wiz, but it's been a little while, this might be the time to go check it out again. Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, Nipsey Russell, and I forgot who the lion was. But Lena Horne, Richard Pryor, all kind of folks are there. A lot of cameos. And then music changes Changing Lives presents the Heal Dina distribution event. Their latest one will be this Saturday, and the doors are going to open at 10:30 with volunteers arriving a couple hours earlier at 8:30. It'll be at Metropolitan Baptist Church at 2283 North Fair Oaks Avenue. So it's a community distribution for the Dina residents affected by the fire. And Loveland Community Development, in collaboration with the Neighborhood Savants, has the Healing Through Feeling, the emotional wellness experience that doesn't feel heavy. It's a supportive space for youth, families, and individuals impacted by the Eden Fire. This is happening on Sunday from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. in Altadena. You do have to register by scanning the QR code, or you can go to llcdc.org/Altadena to RSVP. Because again, space is limited at this wherever they're going to have it. And once you register, you'll be able to find the location. They'll share that with you. There's going to be relaxing, holistic wellness experiences, food raffles and community connection, guided support from caring licensed professionals, comfortable, age-appropriate space for youth and adults, as well as DIY fun, so you can make your own manifestation jar and tie-dye keepsake. So definitely check this out if you have the time. That's it for the announcements today. I'm going to bring Marcus back in. We'll go full screen again, bring some comments if folks are saying anything. Let me see. Anybody join at the other events? Okay. No more comments. We actually went an hour and 16 minutes. I appreciate you popping on, Marcus, and sharing, checking in. I appreciate that. It's nice to hear that you and the family are doing well, and some folks that you've talked to are actually doing well and progressing through this and moving forward.
Yep. Yeah, man. And then anytime I pop out, I want to, because I just when I feel it, I feel it.
Yeah.
And always, if I'm available, if I see one of you guys are trying to hold it down, I'm gonna jump on and try to relieve a little anxiety or extra pressure. Y'all can behind the scenes stuff. I have no idea what to do. Yeah.
Hold on. We have a couple more people that joined. Copy. Let's do this. So Betty64 joined. Thank you very much. The Our Society TV joined as well. Thank you very much. And they have a question. Hold on one second. Cancel. Damn it. Copy. Okay, cool. So Our Society TV has a question. Any news on the NAACP Image Award? I'm not sure what that's related to. If it's related to us getting one, I haven't heard anything about it. I don't know anything specifically about any award related to that. So maybe you give me a little more context. I can check.
It's usually held at the it's Pasadena Civic Auditorium, right?
Civic Auditorium, yeah.
So I wonder if there's maybe they haven't announced when it's coming, because it's around this time, right? I think it's around this time. So maybe that's what. Just curious. Maybe they're just curious.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. Well, I'll look into it. I'll see what I can find out in terms of when it actually is, and I'm assuming it'll still be at the convention center. Civic Auditorium, because that wasn't affected, so it probably will be. And if it's related to us getting an award, I'll check into that too. I would. Be very surprised if we did. All right, cool. Well, that's it for me. I know you got to get back to work and do a few things, and I appreciate, again, you stepping in. Thanks to everybody for tuning in to episode 292. Thank you for checking in.
292.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I still am amazed. That blows
something
me
else, man.
About to be episode, or
it's gonna be really bad to get 365.
Ha, 365.
That's gonna be a good one.
People see the years over.
Yeah,
quick.
for sure.
It's gonna be really quick.
Yeah.
So with that, I will say peace out. Hope everybody has a wonderful Thursday. So tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, TGIF. We're going to talk about more of the stuff that's happening over the weekend and what each of us will go to if we can. And always encourage you to tune in, give us your input, any topics you want to talk about, please share with us. And if you'd love to come on the show, please do so. As we indicated before, feel free to go to this link, altadenatalks.org/podcast guest. It is a Google form. We will contact you. It may take a little bit of time, but we will reach out to you and get you on the show. We'd love to have folks in the community hop on. All right. Anything else from you, Marcus?
No, I just tell beautiful Altadena, stay beautiful, stay bold, and stay persistent and resilient. And I'll see you all soon in Altadena.
That's right. All right, everybody. Peace out. Have a great day. See you mañana.